We're learning more about how Melania Trump's speech on Monday night echoed Michelle Obama's address at the 2008 Democratic Convention. Campaign sources tell the New York Times the nominee's wife rewrote much of the speech herself. Nancy Cordes is here with more details on how the speech all came together. Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, what we have learned is that the campaign originally hired two well-regarded outside speechwriters to craft this key address, and they handed over their version more than a month ago, one that did not include the sections that were lifted almost word for word from Michelle Obama's convention address.
Your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
Your word is your bond, and you do what you say.
A source with knowledge of the original tells CBS News that the speech, as delivered, bore almost no resemblance to the one crafted by the two seasoned speechwriters hired for the occasion.
The only limit to your achievements,
the height of your achievements
is the strength
reach of your dreams
and your willingness
to work hard
for them.
Matthew Scully and John McConnell were brought on to write Melania Trump's crucial address by Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump's husband, after they worked on Paul Ryan's convention speech in 2012 and Sarah Palin's in 2008.
I guess a small-town mayor is sort of like a community organizer, except that you have actual responsibilities.
Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort won't say who scrapped the original speech and added in this.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
He also won't admit that the new version cribbed from Mrs. Obama.
Well, there are not that many similarities. There are a couple of phrases.
Word by word in a number of places.
It's basically three places in the speech, and it's fragments of words.
She was badly served by staff.
Washington Post columnist Michael Gerson was head speechwriter in George W. Bush's White House, where Scully and McConnell served as speechwriters, too.
I think there's clearly a problem here, and they look like a campaign that can't get its act together, but also can't just admit obvious true things in public, and deal with them in a forthright way.
He says it feeds the perception that the Trump campaign isn't ready for prime time, especially since there is inexpensive, even free software that's used routinely by campaigns and congressional offices to make sure that a speech doesn't contain phrases that might have been used before. Charlie?
Thanks, Nancy.